Good morning. Welcome to the online lectures for information security. This course is for computer science engineering students for 7th semester. Now first we'll identify what is information security. Now the information security word is made up of two different words, that is information and security. Now in here, what is information? Now information, it can be any type of data, is called as information. If we take an example of what this data is, it can be your personal information, any of your details. Now these details, these can either be present on your social profile, as we are living in a world governed by technology, we're using different social media applications in our daily life. Then any type of data that is present either on your mobile or on your system, or it can either be your biometrics data that you use to unlock your phones or to grant permissions for particular applications to transfer money. You basically use biometrics. These are all of your data. Now in here, there is a major thing that you need to do with all of this data. You need to get this information secure, because in here within the social media profiles, we've got all of your information. Basically, you've got your name, you got where you go, you got your photos in there, you got basically everything on your social profile. And with some data that might not be present within your social profile, it is always there within your mobile or your system. And the main thing is your biometrics. This should never be compromised. So in here, securing all of these details is very important. Any type of information, any sensitive information, if these type of details are if these details are accessible by any unauthorized person, that is not you, so that is going to completely shut down your security. That is, all of your details are available to that person. He can misuse all of your data. If your biometrics, he's got your biometrics data, he's got your card details, you've got everything. So you do not have access to any of your accounts. Everything is compromised. He can misuse the data. So that is why it is necessary that you need to preserve this information. Now, a definition for security is security. It is the quality or state of being secure, to be free from danger. That is why it is the reason that you're securing all of this information. The next is we'll be covering what are the different course objectives, why we are studying the subject, and what are the objectives of this particular subject. Now, to learn legal and technical issues. Now, in legal means it is going to be basically about the law, specifically the rules and regulations. Now, who is going to design this rule and regulation? The government is going to design these rules and regulations for many different activities. That is how you're going to do a particular task based upon a particular activity. Now, suppose you're designing an information system. So in here, there are basic some laws that you need to follow while you're creating a secure information system. Now, if suppose you're creating a system and someone has compromised all of your information, or someone has created the exact same thing, you want to make a case against those people in court. So if suppose the system that you have developed, it itself does not follow the law, then your case is not going to stand in court. That is why whatever information that you're developing, that needs to follow the laws of the information system that are being designed by the government. The next is to provide understanding of network security. Now, why network security is important? If suppose your network is not secure, now any device that is attached to your network, it can be your mobile, it can be different computers, it can be different servers that are connected to this network, all of the information becomes compromised. Now, compromised means it is not secure. Then the next one is to expose the students to security standards and practices. Now, to expose to the different security standards and practices. Now, in here, some specific security standards, it means that how you're going to secure this information. The goal of the standard is how you're going to improve security. If you do not know the standards, it will be very difficult for you to improve the security of this information system. So these are the three objectives of the particular course. Coming on to the outcomes. Once you've completed this course, what are the things that a student is going to learn? Now, the first outcome is describing the steps in security system development life cycle, that is SEC, SDLC. Now, in here, we have already studied within software engineering that what is SDLC, software development lifecycle. But in here, you're securing the system development lifecycle. Now here you're going to have multiple steps, how you're going to secure entire organization or how you're going to ensure the security of your personal information. That is the first outcome. The second is understanding the common threats and attacks to information system. Now in here there are many threats and attacks that can be launched upon a particular system. Now if we come on to the different attacks, it can be a DOS or DDoS attack. Now this is DOS attack is denial of service attack. Now this denial of service attack is, it is like if suppose what happens is there is a particular application or a particular server. This attack, DOS attack, is launched on a particular server. There is one server. Now on this server, what is going to happen is multiple people at a time are going to send multiple requests to the system. Just n number of time, 100 requests at a particular time. Now, if 100 requests are sent to a particular server at one time, what happens? This server will be unable to respond to this particular request, all 100 requests. So what happens? The server go down. That is, they become unresponsive. Now, when they become unresponsive, it is easy for you to launch an attack. This is your attack, the denial of service attack. You're going to, now sometimes you might see there is some flash sale on a particular website. So what happens? Multiple people try to access the site at the particular time. So at that particular time, what happens when multiple people are accessing the attack, they are accessing the particular server, they are not launching an attack, but sending multiple requests at a time is going to get the server down. Or we can say a best example is when the result is being released, multiple people hit the OU website. At that time, what happens? The server goes down. You're unable to access the website. We are not launching an attack, but we can see that as an example of how the server goes down. They become unresponsive. That is a DOS attack. And another attack can be MIM, that is man in the middle attack. Now within this man in the middle attack, now as the name says, now if suppose there are two persons that are communicating, person 1 and person 2. Now, as these person 1 and person 2 are communicating, what happens between these two persons, a person is going to hijack this session. That is, whatever one is sending the message, he can manipulate this message and again forward it to person 2. Or he can read the particular text that you're forwarding. That is man in the middle attack. Then you can launch password attacks. Now, password attacks are password attack. Now for this password attack, you can have this brute force attack, that is guessing the password. What can be the password for a particular account? That is a password attack. Then the third one is understand the legal and ethical issues of information technology. Now legal, I already told you, those are the rules and regulations. Whereas ethics, it means how a person behaves, his social behavior. Now based upon a person's social behavior, you're going to analyze how this person is going to do decision making. You're going to understand this. Then the fourth one is to identify security needs using risk management and choose an appropriate risk control strategy based on the business needs. Now in here, when you identify the different security needs, now why do we require security? So that your information is secure, or first thing you can say that your personal information is secure. Or if suppose you're working in a particular organization, what are the different functions or operations that you're performing that need to be secure. The entire data or all of your project information that need to be secure. All of this need to be secure. That is the need of security. Now for this security, you need to do is risk management. Now what is risk? It is like a degree of possibility of loss. You're going to first analyze if so this is the degree, or this there is chances of this much percentage of risk. So when you know that there is a chance of risk, it becomes easy for you to design a secure system, how you're going to defend it. If you know what type of attack is going to be launched, it will be good for you, or it will be easy for you how you're going to manage to avoid that attack by choosing better risk control strategies based upon the particular business. Then the next course outcome is using the basic knowledge of security framework in preparing security blueprint for the organization. Now, if you've got basic knowledge of the different policies that are used, or the different security standards that are used, then it will be easy for you that you can create a blueprint for the organization. That is, these are the different areas where you need to focus. It becomes easy for you to design a blueprint for a particular organization. These are the different areas, and these are the areas where you need to secure the information. Then the next is usage of reactive solutions, network perimeter solution tools such as firewalls, host solutions such as antivirus softwares, and intrusion detection techniques, and knowledge of ethical hacking tools. Now in here, what is the necessity of using firewalls? Why do we use, where do we imply this, or where do we use this firewalls? These firewalls are basically used upon the network so that your entire network is secure, or you within the entire perimeter of the network, that is some specific area is going to be controlled by a particular network. So on this network, you're going to install a firewall. Now this firewall is going to avoid any unauthorized access to the data, to your system. Then you might also make use of antivirus tools, any antivirus tools you are going to use, and intrusion detection techniques. Now, what is intrusion detection techniques? Intrusion is when a particular hacker attempts to attack the normal operations, an unauthorized access. He might launch a particular attack. So you're going to identify that, and how you're going to come out from that attack, that is going to be identified. You'll get to know about this. Then ethical hacking tools. Now in here, the knowledge of ethical hacking tools is important, because it is not to hack a particular network or hack another company. This is important because when you know what are the different attack patterns, when you know how an attack is going to affect a particular system, what is the pattern it is following, then it will be easy for you to encrypt your data, or how you're going to imply a security protocol on your entire information database. That will be easy when you have an idea of ethical hacking tools, so that you study the patterns of the hacker and how you're going to secure your information. The last course outcome is understanding the technical and non-technical aspects of security project implementation and accreditation. Now in here, you got technical as well as non-technical aspects for securing the project implementation and the different accreditation that are provided for security. These are the course outcomes for information security. The next is coming on to the syllabus. Now within the unit 1, we are going to study the history of information system. When were the first mainframe computers launched, and when it became necessary to control or to secure these information, the different characteristics of the information. Now there are different characteristics like availability, accuracy, authentication, confidentiality, and integrity. We're going to study in detail about all of these characteristics of information systems. Then the NSTI SST security model. This is a National Security Telecommunication and Information Security Committee security model. Then coming on to the components of information system. Now within these components of information system, within this, you're going to identify what is the input that you're going to do, or you're going to give to a particular system, how this input is going to be processed, and what is going to be the output. Whenever you're designing an information system, a secure information system, you need to know what is the input and what you need to get as the output. Now when you know these components, it will be easy for you to secure all of these components. That is, who are the people that are given access to the particular system, who can give input, or who has got access, who can manipulate, add data or retrieve data from an information system. When you know the components, it becomes easy for securing these components. Then balancing security and access. Now balancing the security and access means, now in here, to provide security to a particular application. Suppose you do not want to give access to anyone to the GPay account or installed on your phone. Now in here, for security, you might add a password. Now when you're adding the password, to whom are you giving the access? This password known only to you, or it is known to you and your friend, or it is known to everyone? So in here, there should be a balance between security and access. Now access should be given only to limited number of trustworthy persons. Then you're going to study the SDLC and how you're going to secure the SDLC model. The next chapter of Unit 1 focuses on the need for security. Now, what is the need for security? The need for security is that you protect the functionalities of a particular organization, so that whatever operations that you're performing, those are safe. You need to protect the data. It can be your data or an organization's data. And the different technology that you're using, you need to safeguard those technology. These are the needs for security. Then when this is the need for security, then what are the business needs you're going to identify? Then the different threats and attacks. Now we have already seen what are the different attacks that can be launched on a particular computer system, and then how you're going to develop a secure software. Now these are the different things that we are going to cover within the first unit. Within the second unit, the first part is legal, ethical, and professional issues. Now within this legal, ethic, we have already discussed legal, ethical, and professional issues. Now in here, you're going to study different laws that are implemented within the information security system. There are different US laws, international laws are there, different legal bodies, the ethics of the information system. It is going to basically focus on how you're going to safeguard the entire security of the system legally, what are the different laws that are used within the US, and different international laws. Now there are specific laws that are there internationally, that is followed across multiple countries, multiple areas, across it is followed everywhere. Then coming on to the next part, that is risk management. Now, as I already told, what is risk? It can risk is the possibility of loss and how you're going to prevent that particular risk from happening. Within this risk, you might have different attacks, or there can be different threats. Now, when you know the different attacks and threats, that is called as the risk identification. Now, within risk identification, you've got risk assessment. That is, what are the different attacks that can be launched. It can be any malwares, or it can be a phishing attack. Now, these attacks, it can be direct attacks, or they can be indirect attacks. Then what are the different strategies that might be used to overcome the direct and indirect attacks? Then risk control strategies. Now, within this risk control strategies, what are the different risk control strategies are there? Now, the different risk control practices, it can be how you're going to defend a particular attack. When a particular attack is being launched onto a particular software or onto a particular organization, how you're going to defend that attack. Are you going to launch a counter attack, or transferring the attack? Now, in here, transferring the attack means now there are different, within a particular organization, you've got multiple mainframe computers that are there. Now, if suppose a particular attack is being launched, now in here, suppose there is first system, second, third mainframe computers, four, like these are different computers in here. So in here, this particular attack is being launched from site one. From site one, an attack is being launched. Okay. Now you get to know that the attack is being launched from site one. So in here, suppose that this fifth node has got very sensitive data, or you can say it has got very important data. Okay. Now this attack is going to follow. It has come from 1 till the second computer. Now, if you see that this is coming till here, from second it is going to reach 4. So in order to protect this fifth, you're going to make a counter attack. Now, there can be other systems also attached in here. Now, if suppose from this fourth system, there is another node that is attached, that is the sixth node. So what you're going to do is that in here, you're going to secure this fourth node. That is, you're going to launch an attack that in here, it does not go here. Your launch does not go here. And this attack is directed from 4th to 6th node. You're going to provide, you're going to like completely secure this particular channel. This channel that is connecting from 4 to 5, that will be secured. So this attack does not find any way to go to the 5th server. So it redirects its path and it goes to the 6th node. That is transfer. Then the next one is mitigate. Now, mitigating means how you're going to decrease the impact of a particular attack. The next is accept, and the last one is terminate the attack. How you're going to terminate this particular attack. These are the control practices that will be studied in detail. Then within the unit 3, we are going to study for the about the planning for security. Now, within this planning of security, we are going to study different policies. Now, there are multiple policies. Now, these policies are basically used how you're going to measure, monitor, and report any type of issues within a security system. You're going to study different strategies. For implementing the security and different tactics. Within the third unit, we'll be covering that. Then next part is security technology. Within the security technology, we are going to study how you're going to safeguard your computer systems or networks by making use of firewalls. And for secure communications, you make use virtual private networks. You're going to study different types of firewalls, how they are implemented, how a packet is going to be transferred through a firewall, how packet transfers a firewall, packet routing will be studying within these security technologies. And then how this different types of data that you're transmitting across the networks, how you're going to protect all that type of data within, you're going to study within the protecting remote connections. Then within the fourth unit, we're going to study about the intrusion detection. As I already told you, that intrusion is the attacker making an attempt to disrupt the normal operations of a particular organization. Now, this can be any unauthorized access. Unauthorized access is intrusion. Or it can be launching a malware onto the system. That can be again intrusion. Now, detection means when you get to know that there is an unauthorized access, how you are going to secure the type of data that is present within the system. How you're going to secure the computer, or how you're going to secure the entire network. The next one is access control. Now, access control in here means if suppose a particular person, now as you're studying intrusion, now if a person gets access to your particular computer, he is finally able to crack the your computer's password. So in here, within this, when he gets access, there are different files that are present within your system. Now, if suppose you want to safeguard this file, you want to protect this file, you're again going to give another password onto the file. So if a particular person gets access to the file, again a password is given. Or if suppose he's again able to crack this password, your files are encrypted. Now, when you've got encrypted files, it becomes difficult or sometimes impossible for this unauthorized person to see your files. That is access control. That is, if even one person gets access to your computer or your personal files, your data is encrypted, and when he sees it, it just means nothing to him. Then you're going to study the prevention systems, the different intrusion detection and prevention systems. Then scanning and analysis tools. Now in here, within the scanning and analysis, you're going to scan your firewalls, your networks, the host, all of the things are going to be scanned, and all the hardware that is present within the system, they are going to be updated frequently, so that when your systems are up to date, it becomes difficult for the person to find a loophole to access your system. Then the next chapter focuses on cryptography. Now within cryptography, what is cryptography? Cryptography is basically converting your plain text to ciphertext. Plain text is converted to ciphertext. That is your encryption. You're going to study the different cryptography tools, different algorithms that are used for encrypting your data. You are going to study the different algorithms that are used. Now the different algorithms are the secured hashing algorithm, SHA. You've got SHA-1, you've got SHA-5. You can then another is message digest algorithm. You've got message digest 5 algorithm, then data encryption system. Then you've got S, advanced encryption system, RSA, reverse sharing, Edelman. Thus, you've already studied all types of algorithm. Multiple algorithm we are going to study within cryptography. Then within the fifth unit, we're going to study implementing the information security. Now, how you're going to, the different policies, standards that you've studied, how all of this are going to be implemented in technical and non-technical aspects, and what are the different certifications and accreditations. Now, for implementing information security or for securing the information security, one person is, it is not a job of one person. Multiple persons need to be there, multiple persons with multiple skills to implement this information security. You're going to study this different models for implementation. One model will be a bullseye model, and the next chapter is going to focus on security and personnel. Now this is positioning and staff security, like how you're going to have all the staff associated within your organization. Now basically this all we can say that how, what are the different employment policies that you're going to follow, the different policies for employment, and where are these employees going to be placed under who, like mainly this organization where you're implementing the information security, all the employees are going to be focused under the chief security officer, CSO. All the employees are going to be positioned under him. Then you're within these policies, you also have like multiple contracts that employees, how they are going to be fired, on what terms, and what is the notice period that is given to employees. That all we are going to study within security and personnel. Then the last part is information security maintenance. How you're going to now, as you're implemented the security, you've studied different models, you've studied different policies, how you're going to maintain all of this, we are going to study within the last part of the information security. So this within this we have covered the objectives and the overall view of the 5 units that we are going to study within the next couple of classes.